Hello everyone, welcome back to another live stream here on the twitch.tv / the Xisuma. Got a little bit of... Oh. I'm logged in? Wait, I don't recall... I must have loaded the client and logged in without thinking about it.
When did what happen?
Okay, we're gonna grab stuff here, go get that sorted super quick.
Hello.
Right.
Hello. What did happen?
I need my pick. Oh my god.
Hello.
Hey Doc, sorry, I died.
Oh.
I need to go grab my stuff.
All right. You need help? All good?
I think I'm good. I got wings and stuff, so I'll be all right.
Okay. All right.
Cool.
If any problems, holla.
Will do. See ya. Oh my god. What was I talking about? Straight away, just immediate distractions. Oh, and stuff changing and updating over there. Hopefully no one was in the area. I don't even recall logging in. It's so weird. Okay. And here's all my stuff. Or maybe... Oh, no, I don't know. Right, there's still space in my inventory, so... More stuff is on the ground, as you can see. And there's loads of random stuff. Huh? Okay. Whatever. Let's grab this stuff and then we can get back on track. Where's that pick? Oh my goodness me. So, food over here. Some items snuck down there. And then below us, a load of stuff over here. My sword. And looks like we're good again, right? Let's make sure we got it all. Is it going to be one of those days today? Because that was a strange old way to get started. There's my bow. Where's my pick? I don't see my pick. I do not want to lose the pick. Down there. There's more. Let's go get it. Let's eat food as well. I'm already low health. I don't see my pick. I was slain by a zombie. Is it in my inventory? It's not in my inventory. There it is. Dang. I mean, I've even got that to help me find stuff, and like, it can be tricky to spot. Things go all over the place. Let's make sure. Didn't miss anything else somehow, some way. Yeah, it kind of looks like we got it all. Okay, really strange. I haven't looked at a single chat message yet. Oh my god, there's loads of messages. You thought I was going to sell my own music in my store? No, that wasn't the plan. Alrighty then. Oh my goodness me. Okay. I had something to tell y'all. Sort of semi-important at the beginning of the stream. Did I leave that over there? I think I left it. No, wait. There's rockets in there. I left it over there, didn't I? Did I leave it over there? Was anyone paying attention? Was anyone even tuned in at that point in time? Ah! Ow. So... Did I... Wait. I must have... Where's that shulker box? It's not one of these, right? Unless it is. Maybe it was actually this one all along. And I've just taken so much stuff out of it that it doesn't look like the backup chest anymore. Because there's all these other... Yeah, like torches would have been in there. and arrows, and that's why rockets are in there. But then this other stuff, I don't remember. I don't remember. So I still have my backup wings on. That would go over here. So we've got like a shovel, a sword, extra arrows. The pick is in there. That is actually looking, I think, back on track. Yeah, back on track. Okay. Apparently I put some food in there. Everything's been a panic. So that can go back. We'll go sort out this junk in a second. I think we're actually good. I think we're actually good now. And we can start. Oh, right. I haven't even adjusted my seat because I was going to log in and then sit down and tell you what's happened. But then, you know, crazy mad distractions. Like being dead. And not remembering that I logged in. I guess it must have just been one of those, like, automatic impulses, you know? Like, you load up the game, you log in, whatever. Kate Stack, thank you ever so much for 3 months with the Prime. Appreciate it. If there are animations on the screen or not, here's something interesting that happened at the end of my last stream, okay? In Slobs, I have a bunch of folders that contain all of my sources, which includes animations and stuff like that. And there's also been this folder that I don't use anymore. And whenever I tried to delete it in the past, it would always return when I reloaded the program. And I submitted a ticket. I asked for help. They couldn't help me with it. They didn't know why it happened. I left it alone. Strange little thing. You delete a folder, it comes back. What's that about? I don't know. Can't get rid of it. Well, I would love it if that bug would continue, because at the end of the last stream that I did, when I switched scenes to the flag and then switched back after I'd finished streaming, I noticed that that folder and the other one that contains all of my animations in had just disappeared. Gone. So I've sent in a support ticket and I'm yet to get a reply. I don't know, like, what happened there, but it hasn't come back. So I've had this bug where, like, I have this undeletable folder that always comes back. Then another one goes missing, and now they're both gone. And it's like, wouldn't it be nice if the one I want just reappeared? Anyway, it's gone. It means that none of the animations work. The sub-goal stuff is gone. The... why is it labeled 100? We used to have one for... something or other. We had some sort of way of saying thank you, a big animation, and yeah, all of those animations can't play. My little Linktree advert, there's a few other things on there. All of that's gone. Just like that, poof. See you later. And it took hours and hours to set up. And oh, if I needed any more nudges to get away from slobs, I think we got it. I think if they don't help me get that back on the support ticket, I think I'm gone, because I think I'll just set up a new look, do away with the animations, keep it super simple and clean, and then just go to OBS, where it'll be easier to just have a cleaner thing. Callie says that I do have a backup of the animations, right? Nope. Nope, none of it's backed up as far as I can tell. That's what I'm asking them if in the ticket, is if there's a backup system for it. Because if there isn't, then I'm kind of stuffed. Blaze Quakes, thank you so much for the Prime. Appreciate it. Nova Sharky's here for 22 months. Hey, X, how's your day going? Great, actually. Went into London. Had a fantastic day in London. Going back there tomorrow as well. So yeah. I think just going forward, I'm going to, like, maybe just ditch that. It'll take so long to set up again. And in OBS, which will probably make it a bit more complicated to figure out. And then I have to reset up the Stream Deck and the iPad, and it's just like, I have so little appetite for, like, grindy maintenance work lately. It's like, I just want to play and have fun. So I'm just going to probably be done with it. Yeah, no derp animation, no hype train, all of that stuff will be gone, basically. How do you get to a London in a day? I can't even get out of my state in a day, says Vision's watching. Oh, that's a really great question, because, you know, people don't live in proximity to places. So there's no possible way that I could have actually gone to London in a day, because it takes more than a day to travel from anywhere in the world to any other place. It's not like I live near London and there's transport connections that make it quick and speedy to get in there. And so it's the sort of place that you would go and take a day out because it's really nearby. No. If I'm going to take a day off, if I'm going to have a day out, it's going to be the other side of the globe. I'm going to Australia for a day out. You know, I'm just going to quickly nip over to Australia and come back again, because that's how that works. That is how that works. Yeah? That's exactly how that works. I'm glad we agree. I'm glad we agree. I have no idea what you were trying to say, but I took the opportunity to have some fun. Losing data is brutal. Lost a stuff last year and still recovering, remarking things. Yeah, this is more like not a loss of data, but a loss of like connectivity, a loss of setup, a loss of instructions. It's really irritating. Anyway, I might get a support ticket back and they're like, hey, we rolled it back, you good. I don't know. They've helped me before, but I haven't heard back from them yet. We're going to start off, by the way, by growing and chopping trees, which gives us an opportunity to have a chitty chat, I guess. It'll be a chatty Q&A stream today. Ordained Dread, good to see you again, my dude. 83 months of support. Incredible numbers, incredible numbers. You're pretty sure most places in the UK are close to London. Yeah, like, the UK is not a big place overall compared to some other places. So, you know, the distance between London and other places is a certain thing. Where did I've been chopping down trees up there, because when you do... Oh, I don't have any dirt. When you do the spruce, it creates podzol. So I try and find a spot where there isn't... I could actually quite happily just... No. What am I thinking? I'm like, here's some dirt that it doesn't matter that it converts. It's like, no, you can't grow these big trees indoors. That's not how that works, son. It's not how that works. Not how it works at all. D-Man X, thank you for a lovely message, my dude. Love to hear that. That puts a smile on my face. Right, this, by the way, this is it. This is prime tea drinking temperature. We have been distracted. It could have been a little hotter. I'm just gonna enjoy this tea if that's okay. It's like that old saying, in the UK 100 miles is a long way. In the US 100 years is a long time. I've not heard that one before. Did you see Minecraft is starting to introduce Vulkan support? Yes, I need to read up on that article and learn a bit more about it. Last time England was a big country, they ruled half the world. I see what you're saying. Cheeky cup of decaf tea. It is indeed a decaf, yeah. You missed the last stream, so you're glad you caught again. Cato Secret. Yeah, you were with us on the Hightail stream, right? And then last time we were doing Minecraft. What kind of tea you got? Is it juicy? Just a decaf English brekkie. Yeah, I went to the Science Museum in London, and the food there, I looked it up on my phone, and it said it wasn't very good, and it wasn't. I had this chickpea curry, and it was pretty bland, you know? I always want to have like a good meal. It's one of the reasons why I like cooking and eating at home and like doing it myself, because I know I'll have a good meal. I just had one when I got home. I made myself some like I don't know, beef, onion, and veg, all mixed up with some rice, with some like curry powder and garlic and ginger and other herbs and spices, and dang, it's just whew, so good. Your dad puts 30k miles on his car every year just from driving to work. Dude, I have had a car for 10 years and I haven't put half of that on it. You went with your 4-year-old a fortnight ago. Gutted they took the launch pad away and now charge you 17 to go to the really fun interactive bit. I wasn't aware of the prices. I know it's free to get in, but everything was paid for by the people I was with, so I didn't really interact with any prices today, but yeah, things are well. I paid for food, which was like £16 for a meal, and I was looking at this thing and I was like, I'm getting ripped off right here. How does one make a bland curry? That is a great question. It's like, isn't it difficult to make a curry bland? You know? You're cooking some grits right now. Can you tell me like what grits are? Because I'm under the impression that it's like isn't I don't know. No, I don't know what grits are, but like to me grits is like leftover bits from cooking on the grill. I had some in America when I was a kid and I didn't understand what it was. What are grits? I need an explanation right now. There's a gap in my knowledge here. Ching Fishin says Brits are experts at bland curries. Look at a korma, for example. Okay, first of all, you can make a banging korma if you put in the right amount of garlic and coconut. But I'm not. We're not talking about heat. Bland as in taste. Like korma is a mild curry in terms of spiciness. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about how the flavor hits you. It was weak. It was bland, you know. It's cornmeal mush with butter and cheese. Really? I want to see some more definitions. Grits are ground up dry corn, different to the sweet corn you usually eat. Okay. Cooked cornmeal. I mean, I'd like to give it a try again. I'll give anything a try. Grits is a porridge made from coarsely ground dried corn that is cooked in water, milk, or broth, creating a creamy, starchy dish. Interesting. Oh, grits is American polenta. I had some polenta when I was in Italy, and it was a little kind of like a little extra on the side that was kind of a bit bland for my taste. A small amount good, a lot, a bit much, but. All right, that's me done with my tea. You don't have to put up with any more slurpy sounds. I apologize for all of that. We got Kalowski. Hopefully I got your name right. Thank you for the prime, my dude. Appreciate it. First time subscriber right there. Welcome aboard. You can have sweet or savory, sugar or cheesy. I would start with savory and then go to cheese after that, I think. How do you like a maple syrup? Not at all. I really avoid like sugary stuff as much as I can. I just find it puts a downer on everything. Like I went out for a meal yesterday, and at the end the desserts come around, and like I tried a little bit of this and that, and immediately you can feel it in your body, and it just puts your brain into that weird mode where it like, I want more of that, I want more of that, and now you don't feel full. Now you just feel this like craving for sweetness, and it's like really annoying. So yeah, I'm not really a fan of having sweet and sugary stuff at all anymore. If like the less I have, the better, because then I just don't get these like food cravings, and I enjoy the natural sweetness of things like carrots. Like carrots have become sweet. It's weird. It's like I munch on a bit of carrot and I'm like, oh, that's very sweet. You have the biggest sweet tooth ever. Well, you know, you will pay for it. All that sugar ain't good for you. So, you know, watch out. Facts. My people didn't allow me to eat candy or caffeine, and I'm very happy for that. Oh, I'm glad you are aware of the benefits. Is it me, or is the lighting on these buttons here kind of off? It looks like they're like lit on one side, but not the top. Very strange. Very strange stuff. If you mince carrots, they will taste extra sweet. I just chop them up, you know, raw. I like raw carrot. I like cooked carrot. You know, chop them up into little batons and maybe munch on them a bit. What's my favorite tea? Just English breakfast is classic. Lately, I've been having a few matcha teas with some milk. Oh, really nice. But I think it's one of those ones where you want to have like one or two a week. If you start having one every day, you'll won't be quite the same. X, are you part horse? Well, these carrots I eat, I might be. If you have real maple syrup, it better. Sure, there's you know, there's sweet stuff that's more like authentic and close to the source, and then there's like processed stuff and things that, you know, you put added sugar into. I'll appreciate a bit of natural sweetness, sure, but like, you know, honey's fantastic. But you know, you go out for a meal, you feel great, and then it's time for dessert, and like, I don't go for a dessert because I'm aware of like all that sugar and how many calories it is and stuff, and I just have a little bit and that's it. I can feel it in my body doing its thing. That's probably something I could improve on. I tend to have this like mindset of like, because everyone else is having some, I can just have a little bit so I can be like, oh, I wonder what that tasted like. But then I just sit there after with that weird craving of your body going, sugar, sugar, oh my god, sugar. You know, and it's like, I don't like that. Have I had proper Canadian maple syrup? I haven't, and I wouldn't know what it's like, but yeah, maybe there's something to it. You don't go for dessert because you're always full. Dang. See, I'm never full. I'm always hungry. Like right now, I feel like I could just eat another massive meal. One day I need to experiment and do that. I feel like one day I just need to deliberately eat like 1,000 or 2,000 calories more than I should that day and just see like what my body says to me. Because I'm used to eating just the right amount really every day. Usually share the dessert with your partner. I mean, that's good because then you're like halving it at least, right? You prefer savory foods than sweet. Cato, I'm in the same boat, my friend. I'm in the same boat. It's all those muscles. They make you burn more calories. It's part of the reason why I got into that. I mean, first of all, I found out that I really love lifting weights. And then I found out that muscle mass burns more calories. And it's like, well, I'm always hungry and I always want to eat a lot of food. So like, if I do that, if I build more muscle, then it'll help me with keeping my weight under control and stuff. And turned out to be true. What's my favorite food? It's got to be salads and curries if I could boil it down to two things, because they're both really versatile, right? Different types of ingredients you can put in, and then you always need some form of like seasoning or flavor. Like in the salad, you need something like a dressing or a cheese or olives or something with a real kick of flavor to like bring it all together. And it's the same with curry. You got like curry powder. You don't have to make all curry with curry powder. You can use coconut as a base. But you bring together a bunch of different flavors around some versatile ingredients. You can make a curry with potatoes. You can make it with noodles or rice. And then you've got a different choice of vegetables to put in with your sauce, different choices of meat. Like that, those are some easy pickings for me because they're like diverse and I can change them and shake them up and stuff, you know. Technically, a banana split is a salad, says Bear. And so is Rocky Road, right? I'm on a Rocky Road diet now. What's my favorite salad? It's there probably isn't a favorite so much as just like when the food hits you, right? Like some days you eat and the meal's all right. Sometimes your taste buds are a little more excitable. Sometimes you just get perfectly satiated. After you're done eating, you're like, I'm good now. And that's what I strive for the most. You like risotto for the same reason. I haven't made a risotto in a while. Yeah, risotto could be similar. Greek salad is your favorite. Well, all that feta cheese. Oh, that's a good one right there. I haven't put feta cheese in my salads for a while. I might go for that. How many types of salads are there? Ask ChatGPT and see what it says. Because I know the answer to that question. The answer to a question is basically like a maths equation of like how many ingredients can you define? And then how many, like, because you could make a salad out of every possible ingredient, you know, one tiny bit of everything. You could also make a salad with just some leaves, tomato and cheese maybe. So like maybe you come up with a range of ingredients from like 100 to 3 and then just some math to calculate all the possible combinations. Maybe there's some exceptions. Maybe you're not allowed to put eggs in with some other ingredient because you decided so. Technically, a pizza could also be a salad. I think now we might be getting to the point where like any food that is more than one food is a salad, right? Poke bowl is a kind of salad as well. Poke bowl, I think, is very much like a category of salad because it is like salady bits plus rice. It's more like a salad brand, you know. You're getting all that good healthy stuff. Just you're getting the type where you get, you know, some rice and a particular range. Like they like to do edamame beans and usually some sort of pickled onion or red onion usually, right? Like some sort of fermented, maybe kimchi in there. Bread plus salad is sandwich. Oh yeah, the food I had today, the naan bread, right? You get two sides with your curry. And the lady says, oh, you only get one because of the naan bread. And then I thought, I don't like bread. I was thinking about it. And I was like, I should have asked for potatoes instead. But she's already put the naan bread in the oven. Anyway. I thought, oh, whatever. It's just, you know, it's just a bit of bread. It was honestly the worst bread. It was just so plain and bland. And I took about 5 bites out of it. And then I was like, I'm leaving the rest. I don't even want to eat it. It's bread. It doesn't even taste good. I'm sorry. Food waste is a problem, but like, I wanted those potatoes, man. They look so good. You love garlic naan. If a naan is really good, it's totally worth it. I really like Peshwari naan. That's definitely like a very sweet one with probably some sugar in it. But it's like almonds and all this sweet stuff. Like if you know you're going to a restaurant that does really good naan bread, go for it. But like, I don't want to eat bread when it's like bland. It tasted like Tesco's cheap white loaf bread, you know, just the most uninteresting bread ever. You made naan bread from scratch. Wow, that's cool. How come I'm wearing a very small amount of armor? Oh, it was my choice to wear so little. Peshwari is the coconut one. Yeah, sorry, coconut and almond, isn't it? So that coconut can be sweet sometimes. Like sometimes you get it's the same with coconut rice. A lot of the takeaways that I've been to, I say takeaway, I'm on about like going to the restaurant. I'm more likely to have some of that rice and bread if I'm at the restaurant. The Indian cuisine here in the UK, a lot of the time the coconut dishes are really sweet. So if you get Peshwari naan or coconut rice, you get hit with that sweetness. Someone should make a thing of all topics discussed in his stream and how it got to them. Like, how did we get from Xisuma being half-horse to naan bread? Food? We were talking food? It was all food. I need a lot of this stuff, by the way. I think I might have enough, but I'm going to keep chopping for a little bit, I think. Just a little while. We're about to run out of bone meal, so maybe not much more. Oh, I got to fix my bone meal farm setup thing. There's some issues with it. So let's put that on the list for later today. Don't let me forget, chat. Once we're done doing the bit we're going to do next, we should probably investigate the bone meal situation. A flow chart. Ollie, if you could make a flow chart, that could be a comical image. You and Ren seem to be talking about food today. Honestly, I talk about food most streams. Because I'm a big foodie, basically. And tomorrow I'm going to go back into London. We're going to eat Japanese and Korean. Which I'm really looking forward to. Because I like Japanese cuisine big time. Have I played the OG Doom game, X? That's the kind of question that makes me feel like you don't know me, man. You don't know me. Yo, Mike, first time viewer, how's it going? Mike don't know me. Mike don't know I'm like... I am Doom guy. That's my skin. Doom is my other favorite game. I've played it on my channel. If you want to go look it up. I'm not saying watch it. It's like 15 years ago and I talk like this. Hello, YouTube. Today we're going to kill some demons in Doom. Bang, bang, bang. Take that, Cacodemon. That's basically how it went down. Yeah, Doom's a classic. Every now and then I get an itch to play it again, but I've done that, like, playing it again. I've been through that nostalgia many times. Plus, like, over the years, they've been releasing They release Sigil and Sigil 2 and like these occasional one-off maps, and I get to play those and get a bit of a Doom fix again. It's a lot of fun. I think at some point it would be nice just to be a part of like maybe in an event, like someone's doing a Doom stream marathon or something, and like you get an invite to come and be a part of it and do a little something. That'd be kind of cool. That'd be like a nice reason to get back into the game again. Right, we're going to go grab some tough blocks. We're going to sleep the night away, and then we're going to do some building and crying obsidian. I need that as well. Multiple things are necessary. You're feeling very happy with your exam results today. For dinner, I celebrate with chicken nuggets and hash browns, pizza, or order a different cuisine. Order a curry, my dude. Although, if you're in America, I'm not sure what like curries are like over there, but a good old Indian curry. That's how you celebrate over here in the UK. Like, you get together and go out for a curry. Congratulations on your results, though. I hope you like worked hard for them and got your reward. It sounds like you did. Yes, we're going to do some tough. We're going to do some crying obsidian. We're going to do some actual crying on stream. What? Huh? We're going to talk about my deepest fears and past traumas. No. Oh yeah, I might need some dark oak wood too. We'll see how far along we get with this. Cato says I'm getting pizza tonight. I've been tempted on occasion to get pizza lately. It's when I see it. It's when I see other people eating pizza. I'm like, pizza, and then I just default back to cooking my usual dishes of like salads and curries and healthy bits and bobs. I don't do too many takeaways, you know. That's one too many. I'll just chuck one in there. Let's start with the floor. So we're going to alternate that and that like we've done elsewhere in the base. I really like these two together. And I have a picture of this on my other screen to make sure I don't mess it up and get it wrong. So this one over here is the very... Oh, wait, is it? Yeah, it is. It's got to be. I'm just thinking about the building that goes here. Yeah, that's got to be the very first one, right? So what we're going to start by doing is putting crying obsidian there instead. And then what I have to do is put one there and one there. And now I know. Now I can minimize that image. We don't need it anymore. Which reminds me, we got noises in the air. I feel like it's been a minute since we've read some. So if I've missed some, I apologize. Charlotta Hodes, thank you for the prime. Chinglish Finn, thank you for 13 months. Unlucky for some, not for me. Dan Metroid Arnold, 28 months. X, I've been busy across my circles this month. So much that I feel like a NASCAR driver. Going in circles for a few hundred miles. I get it. I'm not sure if it was supposed to be a joke or just like describing a feeling, but I get it. Going around in circles, my dude. Sometimes life's like that. G-Stab, thank you for 116 months. We need an Xisuma bingo card. I think that's something that communities do on their own accord sometimes. So if ever you want to set one up, be my guest. Be my guest. Yeah, I was reminded just then of something, right, with the numbers. Okay. Prime numbers. When they talk about prime numbers, they often say... like 2's this like exception in prime numbers, right? Because it's not an odd number, it's an even number. And it's the only prime number that is even. But I noticed something today when looking at the prime numbers. There's another number early on that shares a similar sort of sentiment to 2. I'm pretty sure that every mathematician knows about this. I'm not sure I've heard it aired out loud. I'm not sure I'm the kind of person who like will watch a video about numbers because they fascinate me. Can anyone tell me what that other number is that appears early on that has like a similar sort of vibe to 2? Not 1 actually. 1 isn't considered a prime number because there's 2 rules, right? Divisible by itself and 1, whereas 1 is 1, so it doesn't share those 2 rules. Maybe that's, you know, I'm not a maths professor. I could have that entirely wrong. If you're gonna guess, also say why, because some of you have guessed it, but I kind of want to know why you think that number Just because it's just like one of those things. I just noticed it, and then I was like, is that actually significant, or is this like, yeah, of course we already know that? You're guessing 5 since multiples of 10. 5 because we think in multiples of 5. Yes. Yes, it was 5. You know what? It might have been because I saw it laid out on a table, right? A table of numbers 1 to 10, 11 to 20, 21 to 30, right? If you imagine looking at it like that and all the numbers are highlighted, you'll notice that 2 is the only prime number in that column. We never see 2 again, right? We never see a 10 on the end, and we also never see a 5. But I think 1, 3, 7, and 9 can all be a prime number as the last digit, but 5 can't. I don't know. It just like it jumped out at me as like, oh yeah, 5 can't be. I'm sure that's probably been talked about, but like, I guess, is there a reason behind that? Like, primes are just mysterious. Like, why are they that way? Why are there these certain distances between each of the primes, and does it have any like meaning? They're just like a little mystery in plain sight. It's due to base 10, says Simeon Enjoyer. But if you lay it out in any well, actually, is that true? Did the prime numbers change if you go to like base 12 or something? You know what? I've probably watched some videos about this, and I reckon my memories, it's like I just forget stuff now and have to relearn things. I think that might be where I'm at in life. I now have to just occasionally start relearning certain things. Because I've watched like documentaries and stuff about like prime numbers and what people think about them. Prime numbers don't change, it's just how we write them down. So if you switch to like a different base system, the prime numbers are the same, is that correct? I thought 1 wasn't a prime number. I also thought it wasn't as well. And in the chart that I saw today, it wasn't highlighted as a prime as well. Bases don't change the number. Interesting. So like, doesn't that give you a sense of like, oh, there's something behind this? There's like, it's like the universe has an architecture. It has rules. It has, or it appears to have rules. It has interpretations of rules. You know, one of the interesting things about that is like Newtonian physics breaks down when you go to a larger scale. When you like zoom out of the local set of planets to the solar level, it's like, oh, then all of a sudden those rules of gravity that we have and stuff stop working. Some people think that'll be the same with Einstein's relativity, right? Like the larger scale you observe on and take measurement on, then those rules start to break down and you need new ones. And it gives me this sense of like, or at least like this scientific inquiry into trying to understand our universe. It gives me this sense of like, there must be like law and order behind this. There must be a rule set. Things must happen for a reason, not an emotional reason. Not a reason of justice or meaning, just like, surely it can't all be chaos. There has to be, you know, equal and opposite reaction to every action. Look up the prime sieve when you think of that primes are extremely regular. The randomness comes from each one. I'll have a look at the prime sieve. That sounds like something worth researching. Put that on the notes. A little bit of math research for after the stream. Why not? Thank you for that one. Sushi the Wolf Gamer, thank you ever so much for 3 months, my dude. Appreciate it, and welcome to the stream. Same as if you go to the atomic level, common sense physics no longer apply. Yes, that's what it is. Like the Spokadoka says, nah, Newtonian physics still work on a large scale. It's just at high speeds near a large gravity source that they stop working. Okay, well the way I heard it described the other day was that, you know, like the larger scale you look at things on, it breaks down, but a lot of science can be like that. You know, you try and simplify and then you actually end up describing something different. But yeah, like the idea is that at different scales, or let's say more complicated scenarios, like these rules break down, you need new ones, then they work, and then things get more complicated and you need a new set of rules again. But anyway, with the numbers and the math and stuff, it just feels like there's something behind it. Like almost like it's trying to tell you it's secret, but it's just standing there in plain sight. Like, do these prime numbers mean something? And so I'm always curious in hearing about, you know, how maths advances and tries to understand this stuff. Also about prime numbers, mathematicians currently don't have a proper pattern to find all the prime numbers. There are a couple of theories though. Yeah, and every now and then someone like comes out with some sort of discovery where they like narrow down the scope for searching for like prime numbers, but it's always on some like mind-boggling scale where it's like the average person just can't do this kind of math. This is like math genius stuff, but then they're managing to like come up with some equation that narrows it down from like 200 million to 180 million or something. Your favorite number is the super draconiac time-traveling space onion. What? A space onion? Does it have layers? 120 not factorial. Computers helped us a lot with counting primes. They did, yeah, they did. And now they think like AI is going to help do math and stuff. I'm not sure I've seen much talk on it doing things for math. It probably has. Most of the good news stuff related to that has been medical science. The stories I've been hearing, but not so much maths. I don't recall too much stories of it relating to math crossing my path. Although they did team up with Wolfram Alpha to like create a sort of AI infused model of that, which sounded like a potential promising use. But then I never heard much more about it. That's because LLMs can't do math. Well, it's a large language model, right? When I say AI, you don't build a large language model, you build a math model, right? Like the language model is a statistical, like, probability machine for, based on all of the input we fed this thing, what is the next likely word? So that's why you can ask it questions and it gives coherent answers, or seemingly coherent answers, is because it's been trained on a bunch of data which contains, you know, countless examples of that exchange of words, and it's just doing the math and figuring out what the most likely reply is, right? That's all it's doing. It's clever stuff. But yeah, LLMs don't do math, but math models do. They train them on maths. We want that one next. And then that one. The solution was to stop trying to teach AI to do the math, instead to give the AI a use calculator function. Right. But then it's just using a calculator. We can already do that, right? Have you seen AI in cancer research? It's quite interesting. I don't recall seeing something specifically. It's just like when I've heard good stories about stuff going on with AI, it tends to be in the medical research field. So it doesn't surprise me you'd mention cancer. I think it's just a case of like there's so much like number crunching that we could do in R&D for like medical science, and so much like manpower of researching, but then you can actually kind of pass some of that stuff off to these AI models and they can like help with the grunt work, because they did all the counting of the protein folding with it, which was like an astronomical advancement compared to how long it would take us with like manpower hours. We just like jumped forward 300 years or something to the amount of time it would have taken us to keep going at our current rate. There's a new AI Minecraft building mod. I haven't heard of that at all. Have you heard of the stupidities recommended to put data centers in space? It's drowning out actual research about them putting it under the ocean. D-Man, like a lot of like stuff gets talked about these days from an angle. It feels like, you know, like an idea is proposed and then based on like a gut reaction, people argue in a direction. Because I've I've heard the arguments against it, and they sound really good. And then I've heard other people like push back against those arguments, and then it's like, well, do you know? It turns out I don't actually know a lot about space, and I'm just trusting other people's judgment. I've heard about putting them under the water as well, right? So like, some people say, oh, it's crazy to build data centers underwater. You're gonna heat the oceans, right? Sounds reasonable. Apparently, the way that heat gets absorbed by water, if you built these data centers, which is already done, they've already built some underwater and stuff in the ocean, right? Apparently the way that water like absorbs heat, it is so much less than having carbon emissions go into the atmosphere. That heats up the planet and the ocean much more than having the heat source from the data center go directly into the water around it. And it's just something to do with like the dynamics of how water absorbs heat, right? But do you want to know where I heard that from? The CEO of a company trying to build data centers underwater. So you can make the accusation that actually their opinion is biased. The point I will come back to is that we're all just like average people, and we got this weird ecosystem of just listening to people who don't know what they're talking about it. Well, maybe they do think they know what they talk about it, but it's just, I don't know, opinion, and like so much second, third, fourth-hand information going around. Like right now, I don't even know if like what I heard came straight from the source or not. D-Man X is simple. Heat transfers through radiation in space very hard to disperse heat like that underwater. Unlimited water, cool environments, and geothermal too. Yeah, you see, but I've also heard it argued that in space it's really cold and the heat will just disappear. But I, again, heard the same point that you pointed out, that it has nowhere to travel to, and you have to use energy to push the heat away and stuff. And it's just like, I'm listening to all this stuff, and I'm like, it feels like sometimes I'm the intended recipient of all this information. Yeah, I don't know how the heck this stuff works. You know, there's all these informational videos coming out all the time. You know, journalistic ones telling us about what's going on in the world. And if you just, I don't know, sometimes spend a little bit of time going to both sides to hear the opinions, you end up with this feeling of like, I don't know what the heck, how the heck any of this stuff works. Like, why am I hearing about all of this? Where are the people in charge? Who knows what's actually going on? I'm not sure anymore. If you want to understand the heat temperature problem, play Oxygen Not Included. You'll learn about how heat and energy works. Try to make it past cycle 500. So that game can teach you about heat and energy. Interesting. Going to both sides. Not modern, Xisuma. Not modern. Not modern how? Isn't the main reason for building data centers in space to use solar energy? It is. How much, you know, but how much more solar energy do you absorb just because you're in space than on the planet? Because the planet's in space and the sunlight reaches here. Sometimes the clouds are in the way. You know, that's a problem. I don't know. They're like, these ideas are like really complex and can be thought about in so many different ways with upsides and downsides. And I think people tend to just like latch onto a particular point and then put a lot of weight on it. And maybe that's because they hate data centers or like they think that putting them in the ocean is the worst alternative. I'm trying to get a bit more at the meta of it all here, you know, just about how like we're always being passed this information to have opinions about big stuff happening in the world. And there's just, because I've heard all of this, I've heard all this discussion about putting data centers in space, and it's like, I feel like I've listened to someone make it sound like, yeah, it's a really good idea to do that because of all those things they just talked about. And then I've heard someone like argue the opposite, and I'm like, yeah, it's a really bad idea to do that because of all these things they just said. And it's like, at the end of the day, I'm no authority on putting data centers in space. You ask me some stuff about Minecraft, I might have some more grounded, experienced-based opinions, right? Just googled it. 30% is reflected, so that's 30% less energy. Ollie, we've sold it with a quick Google. That's the way we get things done in this world. A quick little Google. And we know it's 30% less energy if we do it here on planet Earth. Problem solved. Let's all go home. That's it. A quick little Google will answer the question. The big question. What, years of research? Nah, shut up. Shut up. We don't need a bunch of experts and a lot of time and thought and energy put into this. We just did a quick little Google. Ollie, I'm not having a go at you, by the way. I'm just taking the opportunity to have a bit of fun. Because that's another thing I wonder about. Like I've seen some like poorly researched content online before, and sometimes it can sound like decent content. I was saying a little while ago about Minecraft and AI, and it was like a recent video, but it was made on research from a couple of years ago, and it felt like the point of the video was just to find something to talk about and make it sound really dramatic and interesting. And like what's the quality of journalism, you know? How much that you watch something, it's convincing, it sounds good, it sounds plausible. How much time and effort went into all of that? You know? I don't know. What's behind it? You have to put trust in people at certain times and places. You know, people can build up a repertoire over time as you follow them or whatever. But God, this is just like the information ecosystem that we're living in these days. It's a weird place. It's a weird old place these days. You wonder if AI will do to history in the future. I feel like there is some sort of like interesting sentiment under that, but I didn't understand the sentence. I mean, what will AI, how will AI be perceived in the future? Depends on what kind of future it brings us to, right? If that's what you're asking. Also, history can be rewritten as well, you know. We've done a lot of like reassessing of history over the, I don't know, even in my, like, from when I was a kid to now, the way you talk about certain figures in history has changed. Like, it's come into question. We've looked back and gone, you know what, we talked about these people like they were heroes, but they also held these kinds of opinions. All right? And so, like, future humans will create a different history of now. Of the now that you're experiencing. They'll have a different opinion about it. Every record has been destroyed or falsified. Every book rewritten. Every picture has been repainted. Every statue and street building has been renamed. Every date has been altered. And the process is continuing day to day and minute by minute. History has stopped. Nothing exists except an endless present in which the party is always right. That's 1984, right? George Orwell, yeah, 1984. Fascinating read, that one. and like, a lot of people throw like 1984 around as well, and I think some people have like different interpretations of what that book is about. I've read some comment sections before where it's like, this is 1984, and I'm like, I think that book means something different. But hey, that's just my opinion. Ollie says, I'm sorry for dissing that, I didn't know. If you're on about what I was saying earlier, you didn't do anything wrong at all. I was just using what you said to have a goof. I mean, you looked it up. You had the impetus to do some research, right? That's cool. That's a good thing. The joke was just that, like, sometimes that's all the research someone does. I Googled it, you know? This is like, we're living in an age where everyone gets to like have access to make and broadcast content, and the point is just that ask yourself, like, when you're next watching a video essay, what's behind this? Like, do you know how much research went into this? Because there's like a gap there sometimes, and you'll notice it. The moment it'll hit you is when someone comes on your turf, on your territory. You know, and like they talk about something that you know about, and you're like, oh, you're getting this wrong. Because there's like a really strong incentive to make content all the time. People are always trying to make content. Sorry, X, I just find the first search result and that just reinforces my bias. Yeah, after you searched with a loaded question, you know? That's the other thing about searching for stuff, is that you can preemptively suggest the answer that you want anyway. If you like, it's like if you search why was 9/11 an inside job, you're probably going to find explanations of why it was an inside job, as opposed to like if you search why do people believe 9/11 was a hoax, then you might get an explanation of like, you know, like from the other side. This is where being a little bit more prepared with a good example would come in handy, but hopefully you can meet me halfway here. I only search why is X the best hermit, says Lucky Tiger Kitten. Yo, that's funny. Because if you like, literally there is opinion content all over the internet, especially on TikTok, where people tell you like why they think this creator is the best or whatever. So like, if that's what you search for, you can find it, right? Why did they fake the moon landing, says the Brawl guy. Great question, because like you're baking in the presumption that it was into your question. This is this is all like, I hope this benefits you in some way when you're next interacting with all these big ideas and bits of information. That's why I waffle on about this stuff. We need more awareness. I don't have the answers, but we need to be aware that we need answers, you know? Why does Xisuma own an 8-string guitar? Yo, I'm thinking of getting a new 8-string. My one is a bit of like a low entry-level one, and I feel like I can hear it when I play it. It's got a lot of rattle to it that's difficult to get out of your playing, you know? How tall up do I need to go from here? 1, 2, actually just 3, but 4 in the corners. 3 at the entrance. Hang on, I can math this. Speaking of numbers. X, what would it take to make a mod that enables the scroll through items feature from bundles to shulkers in ender chests? I don't know, because I don't make mods, so I am probably not the person to ask. So it goes like up by 3 here, and then it goes across, and then the one behind it will be 4. Whoops, at the bottom. I say a bunch of 1s and 0s. Are we talking about an 8-string guitar? Because that applies. Who saw the cover? Who saw the cover? It's a 10 out of 10. Thanks, YouTube. Thanks for telling me. Sometimes when I post those videos, they like hit a little groove and people tune in. Sometimes they just don't, and this is one of those ones that just didn't. So whatever. I've been doing this long. I don't have to get views on it, but I really love reading the comments and seeing what people say about it. With this one, I just wanted to see people comment on like the counting system. I hope, like, for anyone who isn't into Meshuggah or that kind of music, maybe it just like unlocked something. Maybe you just saw something or got a little understanding in that, because by putting the numbers for the riffs on the screen, that's me trying to like just give you like an insight into that music, and what about it is kind of, for me, intoxicating, honestly, is the word. X, just link the cover at the end of the stream. Lazy. Can't even be bothered to go and look it up. I'm here entertaining. I'm already multitasking. I'm building, I'm chatting, I'm telling stories, I'm reading my chat. And I've got to be the one to go get the link. Oh, I can't believe it. You're sitting there listening to the stream. You can go look it up. It's on the second channel. Dang, dude. Go have a little look-see-loo. This is actually... yes, it's slightly different on this. Maybe I've messed it up here. Let's just undo that a little bit. I'm not sure what I'm doing here right now. Bear says I could be such a troll right now. Don't post, never gonna give you up. You love the fun edits on the covers, says Almenia. Yeah, I think that's something I want to lean into a bit more going forward. It's just like bring more fun into them, make it less about like playing the song perfectly, which is kind of what I would strive for in the past, and make it more about just having a good time. And the editing can definitely be a part of that, because editing is fun when you're trying to make your video all goofy and stuff. Rick Astley metal cover when? You know what? Probably never. I don't think I've got a single comical cover. I'm actually not kind of into that. I'm not really into the like ironic metal cover that much. I mean, I do like a metal cover of a pop song, but like I like it when it works, not because it's ironic. But yeah, for those of you that watched it, did you enjoy the numbers? Did they unlock anything for you? Like seeing how the rhythm works? Because like what happens when I listen to Meshuggah is just there's this like everyone knows a good rhythm, right? Everyone loves a good beat, a good rhythm. You know, what I feel like Meshuggah do is they hack that. They find a way to put in this weird energy, this dissonance, this sort of like it works but I don't know why feeling. And it's because they use like strange time measures, and people say polyrhythms. Technically not true, but like it's a good way of describing it at least. And so by putting the numbers for the riffs on the screen, you can actually like see what happens in the music. It was really interesting to you. Due to how much it kept changing around, do you have to memorize everything? Not so much. To learn it, you tend to just start by playing along to the tab, and then you sort of internalize it a little bit. Like you just kind of know what's coming. But depending on which riff, like when you do the count and you understand the structure of the riff, that can really lock it in, and just all of a sudden now you can just like play and have fun. And although you might be doing a little bit of counting, it becomes strangely like instinctive. If you think about it on like a musicianship level, it's like something just becomes natural about it, which is sort of strange because at first it feels a little unnatural. It made me think of the Muppet Metal video, I Can Only Count to 4. Yeah, that's a good one. Anyone else in chat? Anyone else in chat got some opinions about that? I read all the comments. Like, the comments are great. There are a few people talking about the numbers and stuff, but I'd love to hear more if you saw it. Would I recommend fighting the Wither before or after the End Dragon? Just based on your needs, right? Like, I'd probably say before, because Beacon's more useful than beating the End Dragon most of the time. I can't think of a reason to do the End Dragon before that much. Just got here, what are we talking about? Sana, we're talking about the latest guitar cover video. I put like some of the counting that goes into the song on it on the screen, and just wanted to see what people make of it. It's a bit like learning the lyrics to a song. At a certain point, you just naturally flow what comes next, muscle memory. Yeah, also I think with lyrics, sometimes it can like get a bit like conceptual or like more emotional, if that makes sense. Like, if you study the lyrics and understand what the singer's saying, sometimes like those lyrics then come to you a little easier because you're more like connected to what the song's about. You keep failing to make a nether portal. It's getting embarrassing. Yeah, that might be. 9 Inch Nails, March of the Pig has such an odd time signature. 3 measures of 7/8 with a 4th measure of 8/8, making it effectively 29/8. Yeah, that stuff's super interesting. And like, if you were learning to play it, you can learn by like practice and repetition and getting it internalized. But like, once you add the understanding of the time signature, it like really helps lock it in. What's the crying obsidian for? Light. It's for light. You're a painter, not a musician, so you didn't even notice the numbers. You were just vibing. Hey, go back and watch it again. Just see if it ticks anything for you, or unlocks anything. Because for me, like, the madness of their music comes from those rhythms. Those like, internalized counting systems that they used to like build their riffs. And like when you like understand it and see it in action that way, it's really special. One of my favorite ones was Demiguire. Demiguire is just this absolutely colossally heavy song, right? It's like probably their most hard-hitting track, with maybe an exception of like the breakdown in is it Lethargica? Has this insane breakdown. The end riff on that song, the whole song is just an absolute barrage of brutality. It is beautiful. But the end riff is a counting game where you play, I think you play 5 1-0s in a row, right? And then you go up to like these higher notes on the fretboard, and they're all in the same sequence. The first time you just play 2 notes, then you play 4, then you play 3, then you play 5, and go back to the beginning. But like if you don't know that, you're like trying to predict where you're going back to the 1-0s on the low end and up to the high notes. And even though it sounds great and it feels awesome and it like all makes sense, it's a pain in the ass to try and like play and remember. Once you know the counting system, it just locks in and makes sense. And then you can just like play it. What's the point of putting crying obsidian at the bottom if you're covering it up with trapdoors? Lighting. I just answered that a moment ago. It's for lighting. You think you have dyslexia because you really suck at counting in music? Oh my god. Just a bit of practice, man. Just a bit of practice. The whole thing with like I have this, therefore I'm bad at that. When I hear those sorts of things being proposed, I always see it as some sort of like self-defeatist rationalization. And believe me, I'm no exception. I do it myself with certain things, and I try to be better, but it's tough. But like, the point shouldn't be to sort of like give yourself an out for something. It should be to like say, okay, I'm playing on hard mode, but I can still play on hard mode, right? And my one example of getting that right is actually playing guitar, because you might not realize it when you're watching me play, but my like arms and hands, they just constantly throb and hurt when I play. It's because I have dyspraxia, which means the muscles in my hands and wrists are weak, and like writing with a pen is difficult. It hurts. Fortunately, I have very little need or desire to write with a pen. I could tell myself I'll always be bad at writing, and I probably will, because I can't be bothered to try and get better. But if I needed to, right, if I needed to get really good at writing, I'm doing it on hard mode. That's okay. I can't then tell myself that I can't get good at writing. I just have to do it on hard mode, right? And so for me, playing guitar, I honestly think if I didn't have dyspraxia, I would probably be 2 or 3 times as good as I am, because I put in so much time into practice. I have to like pretty much play every day, every other day. And if I go a week without playing guitar, when I come back, it feels like, probably I imagine for other people, like you haven't played for a month. It's just how like that goes for me because of the dyspraxia. It's just hard, but you know, I wouldn't have it any other way. I love playing guitar that much. And I can't tell myself I'm not going to be any good. You just got to keep going. You just watched the 8-string guitar cover. You enjoyed it. I'm glad to hear. I'm glad to hear. We were just talking about it as well. You want to figure out the song we talked about earlier? Demiguire by Meshuggah? I mean, singing metal riffs always sounds weird. But I like doing it anyway. What X is describing Meshuggah reminds me of tectonic rhythm in architecture, wherein structural integrity becomes the art form itself, which is so fascinating. That does sound fascinating. Love Meshuggah, says AKK. Me too. I feel like when I list favorite bands, like I don't ever put Meshuggah, like my top 3 I will probably always say will be like Dimmu Borgir, Metallica, and Rollins Band, right? But I feel like Meshuggah are like that. Like I don't accept that, you know, I don't accept ranking stuff in a top 10 list, right? Like life is organic and messy, and there's like multiple dimensions and ways that things shake up, you know, your moods and time periods that you enjoyed things in, right? That's why I don't like, you know, what's your favorite block in Minecraft, man? I'm like, shut up. Shut up, you. There's lots of blocks for lots of different occasions, and it depends on how you use them. So like Meshuggah are like the stealth band that I always forget how much their music intoxicates me, how much it makes me go mad. Like there's certain songs of theirs like Nebulous or something that I can put on and I start thinking about the riff that they're playing and where the changes in it are, and then I am just obsessed. It's like the only thing my brain can think about now is this crazy rhythm that they're throwing at me. It's like it unlocks some like tribal mindset. I just want to start pounding my fist into my chest. But yeah, Meshuggah just have this like ace up their sleeve, where if I'm in the right mood, which is honestly like pretty much most of the time, if their songs come on, I can just start getting really obsessed with it. And get all excited. I'm getting excited just thinking about it because their music is just like taking drugs, basically. Don't do drugs, kid. Do Meshuggah. Do your Meshuggahs. Yo, Tibby Starship, thank you for subscribing, my dude. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. So wait, copper is not my favorite block. No. I love diversity. I love the diversity of blocks. I could not live in a world with only one copper block or nothing but copper blocks, right? It's about the diversity. Do sugar. Meshuggah. Meshuggah. It is Yiddish for crazy. It is the name of the band, and to be fair, crazy is a pretty good word for what they do. I piqued your interest. You're going to check it out. Awesome. What is... Meshuggah do not have an entry-level song. Like, they are just going to beat you over the head with a tennis racket until you submit and go, I submit. I can't take no more. It's Bleed. Is it? Bleed's like brutal. The Bleed is their like air quotes meme song, I guess you could say. Like I love it, but like its technicality is so extreme that it just catches people's attention, I guess. Well, let's just go with Bleed, because that if they have a song that gets people outside of like the exposure to metal that you need to listen to music like that, Bleed's got that layer of like novelty that you might pick up on and be like, what they're doing with that guitar rhythm is really weird and the drums are going along with it, and like I can kind of follow it, but like why is it like that? Throw you in the deep end, says Niam. That's the thing though, like where is the deep end on Meshuggah? Maybe the track I is probably like a deep end track. That's not something you would start someone off with, because it just starts with like I think like 2 minutes of just absolute blast beat insanity. Like the opening of that song, if I remember, is just like a complete and utter like monotone grind, and then it starts to open up and just like throws all these weird rhythmic ideas at you. Maybe in Life is Life is probably their like boomiest upbeat riff that you could go for. The Slayer song you posted the other week was class. I wanted to listen to your Meshuggah today, but for some reason my boss doesn't like it when I blast metal. Boo. Boo. Blasting metal is the way. You love the music heavy. Oh, if you're into heavy music and you haven't heard Meshuggah, get ready to level up. Should you start with Demiguire? Try Bleed. Check out Demiguire. If you're partial to like old school metal but you don't like the new stuff, maybe something like Future Breed Machine would be a good listen. In fact, that reminds me, Soulburn is probably a pretty like on the lighter end of the spectrum kind of song. I really like that song. I've learned to play pretty much all of it. But then in the middle of it, it's got this like super weird janky riff I like a very long time ago, probably like 8 years ago, I posted a little video of me playing it when I had this like absolutely god-awful sounding guitar sound. And I played it so much that my fingers were bleeding, and I couldn't give up on like trying to record the riff. And I must have played it like 100 times in a row before getting it, and then I posted it to the second channel. So if you find that video of me playing the crazy Meshuggah riff, know that I made my hands bleed and played it all day just to get one take of it recorded. Because it's just this weird it's like all like stiff and mechanical and like off rhythm, and you have to like jump your hand around the fretboard and maybe if I go practice it again all these years later, I'll be much better at it. But I spent the whole day just trying to get that riff down. You grew up listening to 80s metal, so you piqued my interest in Meshuggah. If you don't like the sound of like the Demaguire and the Bleed, go check out their first 2 records, right? The first record, like, not a lot of people talk about. I just got into that record with like no preconceived notion and loved it. It's like a bridge from thrash metal to specifically 80s thrash metal. In fact, I think you could say it's not even a bridge. It's a thrash metal record where they're just at the beginning of that end of the 80s scene when Metallica, Dream Theater, and a few others just started to do like the progressive metal thing. Because if you remember, like, And Justice for All is basically a progressive thrash metal album. You know, super long, complex songs, experimenting with time signatures a little bit. Meshuggah at that stage like really leaned into the time signature stuff, but it's thrash metal. And then the following record, they start to strip out the thrash and start to really kind of focus on the rhythm. And then by Chaos Sphere, they're starting to like make the djent sound on the guitar, which I think they nail with Nothing. It's like, it's a really interesting stretch of records because you can hear a band come out of the thrash metal scene and evolve and just create like a whole new guitar tone and a whole new genre. It's awesome. Thrash, lol. Yeah, the way you've spelt it with FR, that's the way I say it, yeah. Me and my my thrash, yeah. Great. Do you only listen to music in the English language? I'll listen to music in any language, but I won't listen to French hip-hop. Can't do French hip-hop. Something about it just doesn't sit right with me. I love hip-hop. I've got nothing against the French, just French hip-hop. Don't know why it don't work. If you like progressive thrash, you should check out Vector. Yeah, I listened to a lot of Vector way back when. No, not way back when. Vector a bit more recent. Oh my god, wait. You just gave me a flashback to like my music blog and writing about their records. I want to listen to one of their records again if they're the band I'm thinking of. Oh, I haven't thought of this band in a while. Their first full-length record came out in 2009. I'm thinking of a band called Voivod. Oh, dude, I haven't listened to this band in a minute. Outer Isolation. I remember this record. And Terminal Redux. I'm gonna listen to Terminal Redux again. That's going on my listen list. Thanks for that. That was a good one. Do I understand French? No. That doesn't help, I guess. Have I ever listened to Pakistani music? Yeah, I used to get a ride home from work with my boss who was Indian, and we used to listen to like lots of songs from his culture, and I liked them. They were cool. A lot of metal fans badmouth Djent because they say it's repetitive, but honestly, I don't hear any repetition, says Ollie. The thing with repetition is that you can be repetitious, right? Thrash metal can be repetitious. Anything can. It's not really a defining point of the genre. Djent is like the guitar tone, I guess, and with it, those bands tend to come from a particular strain of influence, i.e. Meshuggah. And a few other bands too. Snocky, thank you so much for 21 months. On the topic of Meshuggah, I found a band the other day called Scarve, right? It came up on Spotify, and as soon as I saw the album cover, I just had like a flashback to when I was like 15 or something, looking at a Nuclear Blast magazine, because Nuclear Blast is this really cool record label. And I used to get their magazines and find loads of cool bands through them. And I'm pretty sure Scarf was one of them. I just immediately sort of like had that feeling of like, I've seen this before. And I've been listening to it. It's really cool. And it's pretty close to like early Meshuggah stuff. It's really hard to find bands doing the early Meshuggah sound. It tends to be the like Chaos Sphere and Nothing era that like bands have followed on from. You don't get a lot of bands emulating the more jazz fusion side of their sound around Future Breed Machine. And oh my god, if you're like a Meshuggah fan taking notes today, you're gonna be like, cheers X, this is great. So not only you got Scarf, let me load up Spotify so I can tell you the name of this musician. Apparently Frederick Thorndale was really strongly influenced by this musician called Alan Holdsworth, who is a jazz musician. Alan Holdsworth, if you want to go look it up, has an album called Secrets, released in 1989, prime time when Meshuggah were getting started, right? You go listen to that and you will hear that perfect bridge between some classic jazz fusion and that weird guitar sound that he has when he solos. Like, if you go listen to Meshuggah guitar solos, they are wild. Sometimes it feels like he's playing every wrong note, but by playing every wrong note, it's almost like you're leaving an impression of the actual melody you're trying to play, right? And this guy's work totally did influence him. Totally influenced him. You can hear it in that record, which is super cool. You joined during Music Talk. Who would have expected that? I mean, you know what I'm known for, right? The music version of Negative Space. Yeah, maybe one of them, because you could apply negative space to music in a variety of ways. Like, the space between playing instruments, like, that's a big thing in breakdowns and in polyrhythms and, like, Meshuggah style riffs, is that the mutes between the notes can have a big impact on the sound. But with his guitaring as a lead guitarist, like if you've ever listened to a Meshuggah guitar solo, one of my favorite ones would be Glints Collide. It's just all of a sudden like a torrent of notes flow your way, and they all feel like they don't connect, like they're almost like the wrong notes each and every time. Yet it just breeds this feeling, this really alien, colorful, melodic, but very strange tone, and like it works. It so works, and I love it. But like my interpretation of it has always felt like it's almost like you're like, there's a melody but you've like flipped it or something, or you're playing all the notes around it to leave an impression of something. Am I aware of Toccata by Fugue and Bach? Oh, of course. That is an absolute beautiful song. On several times I've learned to play it, or several occasions I've attempted to play it on guitar, attempted to learn. Sometimes I got quite far into it, and I haven't attempted to play it for a very long time now, but it takes a lot of effort, a lot of time to do lead guitar for me. It's why I kind of stick with rhythm. I tend to have a better time with rhythm, but it's one of those songs I just love to play. Maybe I'll go give it a try again sometime soon and see if it like clicks a little better, and maybe it's worth putting in some time. But for me, like the level of repetition I need to do lead guitar really wears me out, is my problem. It becomes a bit obnoxious. So I struggle to learn to play guitar solos. I can almost play a couple, like Kings of the Carnival Creation by Dimmu Borgir. I've given a go. You feel like I may like 103x Point Never? I do, and have written about them on my music blog. Reminder about your bone meal situation. Dude, absolute perfect time, because I was literally heading back over here to do that, and then I just started, like, my mind drifted a bit, and I was like, why am I over here? Yeah, so we got some issues with this thing. I'm not quite sure what happened. Oh yeah, that happens if you walk over that pressure plate. And every other time I've come through here, I've avoided it, but not that time. Maybe I should put like a glass block on top of it that I have to break in order to use. Okay, first of all, let's keep an eye out for the minecart and just see. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so the minecart's still going in a loop. That's good. I put some stone blocks or something on top of the hoppers up here. And as you will see... Oh no, do you know what? I remember what happened. Right, this stuff all got converted, which is very strange. Also, pale moss over here from over there. I don't know how that happened, but I covered these with stone blocks. Big mistake. The actual big problem here at the moment, I think, is the cobblestone. I think that's what actually broke the farm. And I forgot about this, and so I kept coming over here and having alternate theories about like what to do next and what broke it, because it all ran out of bone meal at one point. But now I realize, oh yeah, the cobble. The cobble was the issue, and I think that's because I left the area or something by mistake. These are both chunk loaded, but if it's running when I log in and out, I think that causes issues. So that's probably why we've got this situation here. So I think what we'll do is disconnect the redstone here on both sides and then clean out the cobble. Replace this moss stuff, and after that we might be good to go. I might not have a solution to stop this from happening again if I forget that the farm is running. One thing I could do is actually maybe make it run based on if I'm standing here, which is what I did for the other farm over there. That's probably our best solution, actually. Okay, I think I've got a good idea of what we're going to do to this farm to address the current problems. You have to take a forced time out from making music due to health issues, and you just make me want to get back into it even more. Dude, you got music in your heart, man. Music in your soul. I know what that feels like. But hey, you know, your health is really important, right? So like, don't jeopardize anything. And I hope you get better as well. I feel like I'm on like some sort of permanent hiatus from doing music, because I'm pretty sure it's what I was put on this earth to do. You know, I'm always making videos and stuff and streams. Making lead guitar songs on Minecraft note blocks help? Nah, that won't help. You just have to practice. Like, I talked earlier about having dyspraxia. It's like, lead guitar is harder anyway. Like, I think most guitarists will agree. Like, you might be the rhythm guitarist in the band, and you might be better at it than the lead guitarist is, but like, lead guitar is just a harder gig overall. It just takes more skill, effort, time, etc., right? And I don't think guitarists would disagree with that. Right? No matter how good you are at rhythm, maybe there's like a level of rhythm you can go to that is, you know, way above where you might expect it to go, and we can say, wow, that's awesome. But I just feel like most guitarists would surely agree lead guitar is like the harder of the two by far. So yeah, you have to put in a lot more time and effort, and for me, like, with lead guitar, I didn't have that like patience or energy. It was just exhausting. As much as I loved the songs, the amount of like reps you have to put in to get that stuff dialed down, it was just a bit above where I was at. I didn't have the tolerance for it, so I stuck with rhythm. I'd love to shred a really awesome guitar solo, but like, dang, that's gonna take me a long time to learn, like months, maybe a year or something. All right, now this thing is ready to run with redstone. How much bone meal we got on this side? I tried to set it up so the bone meal will get more evenly distributed as well, because now the minecart goes to both sides. So in theory, I think it's like once this side fills up, this one will like not be too far behind it. All right, now that we've done that, we're going to do some redstone stuff. I've got to think about it a little bit, though. Like, I want to put in, like, a bunch of torches that go up to there. Let's have a look. So they're going to come from underground, and then we're going to create, like, a pressure plate somewhere at the front. This thing's too wide, though, so I'll probably make it 2 pressure plates because of symmetry and stuff, you know? Soul Draconian says currently fixing the farm. Yeah. I kind of thought there was a bigger problem here than there actually was. I totally forgot that there was loads of cobblestone in the farm from where I left it running and logged out. So there's that. Been doing well emotionally, but I started to watch Hermitcraft again. You guys are amazing me. It's getting back into Minecraft again. Do you mean you haven't been doing well emotionally? I'm sorry to hear that if that's so. My brother says choose lead for jazz music. It's something to do with chords for rhythm. I don't know. I really just play metal on guitar. I don't like doing other genres that much. It's I should try it probably on occasion a bit more. It's just I get like so amped up by that kind of music. That's like what I like doing, is being in that sort of space, you know. Oh yeah, no, we did. I was thinking we did put this down. We just put it over here. Nowhere near where I'm actually working, as you always do. Right, so we need some redstone wire, some torches, maybe not too much else. Probably some repeaters, which apparently I'm low on. So we could do with some sticks and some stone. There's some stone. Any sticks lying around? Any bits of wood? No. Let's go find some. You didn't know I had Dyspraxia X? I have it as well, says Icarus. Yeah, man, it just means we play some of life's games on hard mode. That's what I was saying earlier. I don't like reading messages from people where they're like, I have this, so I can't do that. It's like, no, you're just playing on hard mode. Nothing wrong with playing on hard mode, right? Don't give yourself an excuse. Just play on hard mode. Right, let's go dig some holes. Maybe, yeah, bring some torches. We got some. Nah, even with dyspraxia, I've been a dancer for 10 years. It never stopped me. That is awesome. I love to hear it, man. I love to hear it. That's the attitude. So, look, I can put a torch there and below without it, like, affecting this. It's just a case of, so if I put a torch there, we're affecting it until there's one below, because it will be turned off by that one. Now, if I want to connect redstone to that, I can sort of subtly do it from here if I remove those 2 blocks. So that's the way we're going to wire up the redstone, I think. Let's go make a bunch of this, put down a torch. Put a torch there. Right, so redstone wire will be hidden down here somewhere. Yeah, I think I might dig the tunnel first. And then just bring the wire back out, because it's that simple. Right, this is perfect, because we should be on the edge of the farm. We want to go out here and put our pressure plates basically there. So we're going to go across this space to the chunk border. Man, there's a lot of, like, game sounds on right now. What I need to do here is double that up, I believe. Wait, we're not on a chunk border. Never mind. What did I think we was? Optical illusion? We'll call it an optical illusion. There you go. That's the chunk border. So these 2 blocks here need to be doubled up. They'll have pressure plates on them that connect to these redstone pieces. Now, originally I was thinking 2 for like symmetry, but actually what we can do is stand on both or either one. So if we're going to stand on both, we don't, sorry, if we're only going to stand on one, we don't want to activate the one on the opposite side. So, dang, this is loud. I hope it's not too loud for you. I'm going to turn it down for me. Oh! Wait, what happened to the music? Oh no, okay. I thought something was messed up with my sound. Never mind. Actually, didn't we discover that when I turned down these sliders, it affected your audio, which it definitely didn't in the past, and it is absolutely bizarre that it works that way. Working with like multiple audio matrices is an absolute head scratcher sometimes. Okay, you think I turned the music off? I didn't. I just turned the game sound down. Alright, so by not putting a repeater until here... Oh, we never crafted those extra repeaters. What we're going to do is basically not let the signal come to that if it's activated by the opposite pressure plate. But either player can actually stand on 2 pressure plates at a time. It's kind of cool. I would actually like a few more than that if possible. But don't use all of the repeaters. Are we out of stone now? We're out of stone. Ah, 12, whatever. If you're wondering, by the way, this here is temporary. So we can get rid of it. I still don't have a way to get bone meal out of this farm directly. It kind of like, it's actually a moss farm first. I haven't sussed out how to make it a bone meal farm second, ironically. Let's put it somewhere where we use bone meal. That's a good place to put bone meal. You hear music now. It's because the music, you know, has dynamics. I have joined, says Maddie Smooney. Welcome, Maddie. You have joineth. The streameth. Let's go place that here. And then do some more redstone wire. So from here, I don't really need to do the counting, but I think I will, out of curiosity, just see how close we get to the next objective. Looks like actually close enough, so... yeah, okay. Right, so when that wire's on, it's going to feed into that block. That will turn off the redstone torch. This torch, though, is turning that one off. So it's not interacting with that. And now we control... Oh, no, it needs to be flipped. I want it to be in an off state. Ah, okay. I just need to flip the signal somewhere, and I know where I'm going to do that. Huh. Well, I'm glad I caught that. Kind of had it flipped in my head for some reason. It's like, no, it's running right now. You want it off. I want it to do the other thing. So we want an on wire if we want to turn off the farm. And we got Alpha Rose, Alpha Reposer coming in with the raid. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. Let's do that. And now we've turned off the farm. That's fine. When I stand at the front, it will turn back on again, right? Make sure that torch doesn't power anything above it. I don't think it can. No, it's fine. It's touching this block, not the stuff with redstone on. Let us get some more stone. We need some more stone. Maybe a trapdoor is something you could put on top of the pressure plate, because then you'd have to right-click it to intentionally stand on it. But that means that you can put it back as well. Right, so if I stand on this one, eventually it's going to get started, right? Yep, there it goes. Ironically, B-Dub's Tower of Moss is the exact opposite. All. Bone meal, no moss. Yeah, we could do that here as well. I think the idea is that once these are full and things start to back up more, we'll probably leverage the minecart to do that aspect of it, but I have to get this thing kind of like running for a streak first, if that makes sense. Like, get everything stocked up. We'll get there. X, what is your favorite building block? I feel like you were watching the stream earlier when we talked about that. Okay, right. So we know we're going to have a block here and a block there. And then we're going to power it through the magic of redstone. We're going to power it from a block down here. And now we go in a straight line. Brilliant, just to that bit. And now we've got some dirt in our way. Bit of slow mining. You think purple should be everyone's favourite building block? Oh, the purple block. Yeah. Not a typo, it says purple. Right, so did I... Yeah, I already turned that into a full block. That's good. That's not middle clicking. Now we want a 15. Yeah, we got it. Is there one there? Nope, missing. Okay. Then we have our torch. This is... Oh, I keep... It's always like when I'm close to being done that I remember that exists and start to use it. Always when I'm close to being done. Wait a minute, have I actually done this different? Because didn't we use a repeater last time? Yeah, we did. So it was like one block further forward. I'll just do the same. I'll make it mirrored. Huh. I guess, well, originally we weren't going to point it into a block, so kind of makes sense that it would be like that. But whatever. We'll just make it symmetrical. Yo, on the Fritz, thank you for gifting a sub to Icarus Too Close to the Sun. I'd love to play an animation for you, but the animation's be gone forever now, so... Unless I get a support ticket reply saying... Let's fix that for you. Oh, for goodness sake. Do it all again. And do that. Bam, done. Do it again. Nice. Very nice. Okay, so we get to this bit here. Point it into there. Place one torch. Place two torches, and now our farm will be turned off. Let's get rid of the chunk border stuff. So here's how we're going to do it. We're going to put pressure plates above those. Wow, the inventory looks disgusting right now, doesn't it? What type of pressure plate? I think we'll go some classic oak. Rip animations, yeah, hopefully we can get them back. But, I don't know. I'm not getting my hopes up. I think they're gone. Gone forever. G-Stab says, what's the story of the animations? You feel like you missed something. So at the end of my last stream, right, I switched scenes. And when I switched scenes back, a folder of sources had disappeared. And they had all the animations in them. And there's like this other layer of annoyingness is that I had another folder that disappeared. And that was a folder that I tried to delete a long time ago. And it would never disappear. And I would send in like a ticket asking for help. And so I always had this like extra folder that was useless, doing nothing. It disappeared too. You know, I'm thinking like, that one always comes back. Why can't I have this other one back? Anyway, the one with all the animations is gone. The amount of setup to recreate that all would just be so time consuming and painful that I don't enjoy spending my time doing fiddly bits all the time anymore. So I feel like it's another reason to get away from slobs. It's like they're making it easier for me to get away now because stuff has broken so much. Like so many, like the sounds, the noises in the ear are gone. Now all of our animations are gone. Their multi-streaming service was really poor. Like, it's, yeah, it's just not good. and I'm just going to be done with it, I think. And we'll just move on to a new chapter where there isn't as many bells and whistles on the stream, which I think is okay because the value of the stream is surely not just the animations. I mean, the animations are amazing. They're beautiful. We love them. The Puka's an artist. But where I'm at, I just don't have that patience right now to like sit down and fiddle with settings for hours on end. Okay, so check this out. If I go stand here, we'll activate both. I'm pressing all the wrong buttons now. That's pretty cool. We'll let it do that for a second. I'm going to turn the sounds back up as well, I think. Can we add a redeem saying bring back animations? Nah, don't do that. You find a lot of streamers have so many noises and animations it's overstimulating to watch. Your streams are so calm. Lol. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna try and lean more into like what I do here and less of that fancy stuff over the top of it. Iona backstage, thank you so much for the Prime subscription. Very much appreciate your support and hope you're enjoying the stream, my dude. Thank you for using the Prime. Does the pale side still have a lever powering it? It might do, you know. It might do. Now, second part of the experiment, we only stand on one. So that wasn't powering it, which is fine. The powering it would turn it off, which we've just done by standing on a different pressure plate. So that's not a bad little system, is it? Plus, when you walk off, it automatically shuts. I kind of like that. It's like... It's not often you discover or make little things like that in this game. Every now and then with redstone, you find just some like little minor convenience. Like, it's actually a pretty cool system to go like that, and then, oh look, you're not going to accidentally walk in on it again. It's gone and turned itself off. Anyway, I made a fungi farm because I need some netherwoods. In fact, that's probably what we'll just do next. Go chop some netherwood, right? I need it. Let's get on top of it. That being said, apparently I mostly need the warped stuff, so we'll go chop some warped wood. That'll be our next little goal for today. Getting all prepared for future projects here. It's usually how it goes on these streams though, right? We just get ahead of stuff. So all of that can go into sorting, and we'll just make sure we got a little bit more of this fungi before we go. Although, is it me or is it only doing one type? It might have ran out of bone meal on one side. Let's go ahead and put a couple extra stacks in there, a little bit on this side, see what happens. Xisuma's animations didn't feel overwhelming though, says Hot Gamer. I mean, they were a great part of the channel, right? Like, the 100-month sub animation is a part of that. Yep. See, all of that's totally broken now. It's gone. And it's a lot of fiddly settings to set up on like multiple things. And my appetite for doing that stuff has like really waned in recent years. In the past, I loved it. It's like a lot of stuff. You just, for whatever reason, you kind of lose interest in certain things. And I've sort of lost interest in all that technical stuff. I like to just turn up and do things, you know? Like, I don't get so much of a kick out of doing that kind of stuff anymore, so I don't do it. Am I getting into the great Scar versus B-Dubs versus EFO versus everyone with a Moss Farm battle of Season 11? 100%. 100% I am, and we need to make that battle even bigger. We need a Moss Farm off, you know? Yeah, so I want that stuff, and then we're going to want some Nylium to put it on, which will be in my backpack along with my tools. I would love it if you could just hover over, hold down a button, and then like select directly from the ender chest. Wouldn't that be super cool? That would be an amazing power up. Because I'm still looking through a bunch of blocks and faffing. But at least I'm faffing fast, you know? If I'm going to faff, I want to do it at a reasonable pace. Not a slow one. You missed earlier in the season. What is the explanation for his room having a 2-layer floor, slabs with an air gap? You mean this? This is my reason for it. Woohoo! And another one over there. Yo! It stopped! It stopped! Dude, that thing lasted so long! Oh my days. I wonder when it stopped. That's the first time I've noticed it. Like, I have definitely... Where do I go to fix it as well? I didn't exactly leave in a proper way to get to, like, the back area. Oh, there's a zombie out there as well. Maybe here? That's a good spot to break out. Okay. Oh, there's additional darkness here. Woo! Don't shoot my camel! It's not a camel! Oh, that guy has a strong bow. Woohoo! I'm in trouble. Shield. Oh, no, don't shoot. And there's a... Oh my god, there's a creeper. This is so bad. I'm shielding. I'm shielding. Oh my god, it's all going to go wrong. Escape. Escape. Oh, heal. Dude, all it takes is a bow and it's got like power 5 or something on it. And I'm in hot water all of a sudden. Oh, he's a sniper, remember? You gotta be super careful here. Well, you missed the animations if they're gone forever. 60% of you say, yeah. 15 probably. Yeah, I mean, you can try and guilt me with it. It might motivate me, but I'm not sure that it will. Oh, for goodness sake. Guys, so strong. So strong. Forgil says, at first I was afraid when the animations were added, as many streamers have, there'd be way too many playing at the same time, making it hard to follow a stream. But the way they are added here was great. They're either short or didn't cover the entire stream, often to be happy about them, rare enough to feel special. You know, that's perfect. That's like everything I was going for. Trying to strike that balance with them, you know? So yeah, there's like one less torch here than there should be. I don't know how this torch went missing. Oh my god. What? Okay, the first 2 missed shots, yeah, but that third one, it went right through. That's not the first time I've seen that happen, people. It's not the first time. Now I need even more torches. Maybe should have gone for it with a sword. That last arrow, like, oh, it really felt like it just went straight through it. I've seen that happen, though, a bunch of times. Just arrows go through the creepers. I think it's like a latency thing. It didn't actually do too much damage, if you look. Hi, it's my birthday today, and I know it's unlikely you'll see this, but I wanted to let you know you helped me a lot, and just wanted to say thank you so much. That's awesome, man. Thank you for sharing. Happy birthday. Have a good one. So, I am amazed at how long that has gone without breaking. Now, I think all you need to do is place it down once and it gets going again. So this thing, in theory, is back to normal. Okay, grab that. Server lag so the creeper go through. I don't think it's so much like the server's lagging. It's more just like connectivity and delay. Because a bunch of times, like, I've backed off and shot a creeper and it just feels like the arrow's gone straight through them. Those first 2 shots were not accurate, but the third one was good. And it just didn't seem to land. Which is annoying. Alright, bone meal. Ha! We were just at the farm for that. Let's go get some bone meal and then we're good. He was asking about the farm room. 2-layer floor, oxidized copper, air gap. Not sure why there's 2 layers. The 2 layers are to speed up the oxidization of copper. It is a copper aging room as well, you see. Like, if I want to age copper, I throw it down in here and it ages faster. I think the way Efo did it though was a nice addition to flip it around so that the slabs are like above and below you, but then you can't do two tall blocks because it's 1 and 2 halves instead of 2 holes. Okay, let's grab some of that. Shots 1 to 5 clearly missed. Shots 6 to 9 due to recoil. Shots 10 to 11 very close. Sorry, how many shots did you count? We took like 3 shots at the creeper. Maybe 4? Don't know what's going on with your counting, buddy. It's a Counter-Strike copy pasta. Oh, I got you. I'm not a memes guy. I'm not a memes guy. I was when I was young, when the memes made sense to me, but now the memes don't make sense to me, and I'm old and I'm going to complain about it. Alright. You young'uns and your memes. Is 2-1 the new meme? Because I was around some kids today, and they were telling me that 2-1 is the new meme. It's no longer 6-7. And I think they were making it up. I can't picture something like that spreading again. Like everyone just knowing, oh, it's now 2-1, got ya. I think they were telling fibs. I think they were telling porkies. Yep, they were. What's 9 plus 10? 19? What's 9 plus 10? 6, 7. That's a great way to annoy people. It's like ask them a math question and then just answer 6, 7. And then all the kids start shaking their little arms. The 6-7 meme was fun to see. I loved it. I thought it was hilarious. Kids just getting all worked up over 6-7. It's weird. The joke is 9 plus 10 equals 21. Anyone want to explain why? Is it a math thing or is it just a meme thing? 2 people said good riddance to the animations apparently as well. Well, I don't know about that. Oh, I was just about to solve for that problem. I was like, oh yeah, you gotta do that little replace thing. Nope, not quick enough. Dang, it's like I need 1 more slot on my hotbar. Also, someone pointed out that, like, on the side of the thumbnail that I did, it had 6-7. I don't know if they thought I was trying to, like, put that meme in there intentionally, but, like, in the song, there's a part that counts up to 7, right? So, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And, like, when I was just putting all of that into the thumbnail, that's just how it came out. Right, up we go again. Right. Any more Q&A? Chat? Anything you're dying to know? Did I listen to the new Baby Keem album? I didn't listen to the new Baby Keem album. What is my eye colour? Wouldn't you like to know? I don't think I've been asked that before. Strange. Do I prefer Marvel or DC? Sorry, where's the ban button? Where's the ban button? Oh my god, you don't know me. You don't know me, my dude. What a question. Marvel or DC? Goodness me. Goodness me. You're a fake fan. Where do I get my music for my streams and the videos? The internet. What's the length of my small right toe? When you like to know, you weirdo. Do you get FOMO while the other hermits are hanging out IRL? Not really. Not exactly. It's so it's so not me to be like a persona in public, if that makes sense. Like I just don't like. I love that they do all the charity stuff. Believe me, it's amazing, and I think it's awesome, and I want to support them in any way I can while they're out there doing all the amazing they do. But like, it's just not for me. It's just not for me. I've got that JOMO, joy of missing out. Is that a thing? Can one achieve joy from missing out? I don't know. You wouldn't be missing out then, would you? What's my opinion about baby metal? Because some people said baby metal isn't real metal. Oh, I'll tell you what real metal is, my friend. Steel, aluminium, iron. That's the real metal. Oh. I love baby metal. They're awesome. To anyone who says that's not real metal, I just wouldn't. That's when I stop listening to anything they have to say. Don't take it that seriously. You can love it seriously. You can love it as much as me. You know, I'll die on a hill for metal. I'm a die-hard metalhead, but real metal, pff, who cares? I just want to listen to music and have fun. JOMO is real, apparently. Joy of missing out. I mean, that feels like if you're getting joy from not participating in something, it's like you're not missing out. Do you know what I mean? It feels like the whole statement should be something different, but yeah, I can imagine there's certain activities where I'm like, oh, I'm glad I'm not a part of that. There is too much hate for new metal. Guess what? Same thing when I was growing up. All the elites, all the Iron Maiden fans and Black Sabbath fans, they hated new metal. You know, then all the new metal fans came along and they hated the Junt, and then it will just keep happening. It will just keep happening. It's a silly cycle. There ain't no such thing as real metal. It's all fake metal. It all means nothing whatsoever. It's not your identity. It's just music. Enjoy it. I got killed by an Enderman out here once. No. What happened was I was caving, right, down under there, and I died. So I figured out where I was, went to get my stuff, and I walked out of my base, and like, I don't think I'd barely taken a step outside or looked anywhere, and an Enderman just started attacking me and wrecked me. And I was just like, what's going on? Like, I've barely had a split second to look outside of my base. There was no Enderman on the inside of my base. I must have just like grazed this Enderman at a distance for like a small fraction of a pixel, and it was just like, hey, I'm 100 blocks away, but you looked at me and I'm coming for you. You have JOMO boxes in your school. You're supposed to put your phones in them to spend time with other people at your table. That I get, missing out on social media. And by the way, I love that actually as an idea. I've really like, you know, when I lean into something like I want to reduce my, you know, phone usage, I start to like then come out on the other side. You start looking at everything different, right? I now just like being on a train, looking out the window and not looking at my phone, right? Like there's supposedly all this information and stuff in your phone, but it doesn't feel that great anymore. It just feels like, I don't know, like all these algorithms are just trying to capture your attention, and it's so obvious. And I just like putting the phone away now. And then like, you know, I was walking down the streets of London today, hardly using my phone, and just like, people bump into you and they're just staring at their phone wherever they're going. And like, when you go on the other side, you just start to see it all differently then, you know? Because now you're the one who's not using their phone, and like, you realize how much phones can take people out of like the place that they're at and they're in and who they're with. And so I lean into it now. I'm like, okay, no phone time. I like it. Maybe I could be more stimulated if I was looking at some stuff on my phone. I don't know what it could be, but I could probably find something to look at. But hey, maybe it's okay just to be here right now and not be constantly stimulated, right? Just enjoy the moment, even though it might be a dull moment. I think there's value in being understimulated as well, so I think we'll end on that note. Delara, thank you for 5 months. My dude, sometimes the Endermen are just out there to get you. I tell you, it was such a quick, weird, funny thing. I'll recreate it for you, right? Like, I am walking out of the base over here. I'm wearing minimal armor because I've just died. Like, I've got some bare bones stuff. And I get to about here, maybe, right? Because there's no Enderman in the base. I get to about here, and then bam, I'm like teleported to and killed somewhere around this spot. So like there was just this small window of time for me to look at an Enderman. I mean, maybe it was just stood behind that bush and I like caught it for a split second. I don't know. Also, that happy ghast seems to have like quite contently parked itself. Maybe Cub parked it over here. Is it leashed up? Or is it stuck on a block? Cub might have leashed it up before he left. I'm not complaining. This guy can sit there. It's just kind of weird. I'm going to go stand over here and make a thumbnail. Because I think that'll be fun. Ah! Ow! God, so fun. Hurt my legs. I think that'll actually make a pretty cool little thumbnail right there. Let's turn our head a bit more that way to where the camera will be. Yeah, me and my happy ghast hanging out, chilling out, making a thumbnail together. Sweet. Peeps, that's where I'm going to wrap up my stream today. I'm going to go play some guitar and relax. I hope you've been entertained. Reminder, if you haven't seen the flag or haven't ordered one yet and you want to get one, check it out. Xisuma.co/flag. That's the place to go get one. Let's see you streaming. Maybe do a raid. Let's see what we got today, Twitch. Let's see what we got. I'm gonna send you over to False. Who's doing some mid-offs practice. I haven't seen False on the server in a while. I think she's been super busy with this mid-offs thing that she's doing. So yeah, I'll send you over to False. All right, the raid is getting rolling. So thank you, everyone. Very much appreciate y'all tuning in today. I'll see you again Sunday morning. That's when I next plan on streaming. So take care of yourselves and see you on Sunday. Bye-bye.